And excuse me, this was not for television. This was for another film entitled Atari. And the director of the film, when they were in Africa shooting all of these elephants, um, the director shot a whole lot of footage of elephants, and they had far more footage than they could use in the film. And the director gave a reel to Mancini, and he said, "Hank, is there anything you can do with these scenes?" And Mancini happened to notice a shot that was taken from behind the elephants, and the elephants were walking with their trainer, the woman who was handling them for the film. And Mancini happened to notice that the woman's behind and the elephant's behinds were moving in rhythm together. And it gave him the inspiration for this next number, which was Baby Elephant Walk.
Yes.
Thanks, Tom.
Not on the program.
No, they change it up from time to time. He said that he wanted to be on the program.
So that last number was, of course, the theme from Peter Gunn. And if you remember that television show from, I think it was 1959 or so, Mancini was in a low point in his career. He had been a part of a team of composers that worked for Universal Studios. And in fact, a number that we had to cut from the concert, Too Little Time, Mancini had written for the movie The Glenn Miller Story, which he scored at Universal. But I don't think he got screen credit for it. He was just part of a team of composers that all worked together, and the music director for the film would assign each of these composers, one part of the film to score. And they worked together quite well, but as television became more prominent and began to, kind of move in on the movies and take prevalence, Mancini eventually was laid off with the entire rest of the music staff at Universal. But they didn't take his badge access away. He still had privileges on the lot. So he figured while he was laid off, he might as well get a free haircut. So he went to the lot one day to get a haircut. And literally, as he was rounding the corner to where the barber shop was, he bumped into Blake Edwards, the director. And they had never worked together before, but they kind of knew each other from working at Universal. And Blake mentioned to Mancini, hey, I just signed a deal to do this television show about a detective, and I need a composer. We've got 10 days before it's due. And Mancini, of course, had nothing, so he took the job. And that theme from Peter Gunn that we just played was his ticket to stardom. It became a huge hit, and when it became popular, he was encouraged by the producer, Blake Edwards, to make a recording of it, because there's money in it, right? So Mancini said, well, I don't know anything about, leading an orchestra. So he went to who's the trumpet player, West Coast trumpet player, Black Note. No, he did the Nutcracker Suite. Anyway, he went to this trumpet player who was a recording artist, and he said, hey, would you my theme, because we're looking for somebody to make a record. And this guy whose name I can't remember said, that way you don't need composer royalties, but you get the artist royalties. And Mancini said, well, I don't know anything about leading an orchestra. And this guy told him, there's nothing to it. And Mancini recorded it, and of course the record went crazy and made Mancini a lot of money, which he never would have made if this guy advised him to make the record himself. Anyway, Mancini, ventured into television and was quite successful. And one opportunity, as they tend to do, one opportunity leads to the next. And that takes us to our next arrangement. This is something that we were able to acquire, especially for this concert. And this is a medley of 3 of Mancini's really big hits. This includes the song Dear Heart, if you remember that movie from 1964. And it also includes one that I don't remember. Oh, I know, Heart Charade, and oh, the Sweetheart Tree. The Sweetheart Tree was from The Great Race. And the Charade, of course, is from the great movie that starred Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn. And if you've never seen it, it's a good take. So this is Henry Mancini's concert band medley. It's not my title. But includes Dear Heart, Charade, and the Sweetheart Tree.
Hey, Tamika. We'll stay on for one more segment. It's Steve Pimarini, the conductor. I filmed these guys since 2008, and I retired this year from filming.
Okay, a couple of quick announcements before we continue with the program. We would like to thank our sponsors, the City of Leominster, Mayor Dean Mazzarella, the Leominster Cultural Council under the auspices of the Massachusetts Cultural Commission, and the Music Performance Trust Fund, administered through Local 173 of the American Federation of Musicians, and you patrons, all of you who so kindly or generously give to the band. We have something new this year. We have the ability now to donate online. And in your programs, you'll see a little QR code on the back page. If you're so inclined and you would like to donate to the band, you no longer have to wait till you get home to send a check.
And they have concerts here every Tuesday and
do
Thursday
it sitting
night.
right here in your lawn chair at Carter Park. So that's something new this year. We would like to let you know that we will be performing this Saturday, August 3rd, right down the street at on the Leominster Common for the Italian Festival. And this is something that I always joke, but it's true. We are more qualified than any concert band in the entire country to play for this Italian festival, because we've been doing it since 1910. And if I do say so myself, we do it pretty well. So if you remember the Feast of St. Rocco that used to happen up at the Saladini Club on Lincoln Terrace many years ago, this will kind of be a kind of reprise of the concert that we used to do for that. So we'll be doing number 17, and we'll be doing a lot of music that the band was so well known for during those years. So it's absolutely free. It begins at 5 o'clock and goes until 7 p.m. So we hope you'll be able to join us this Saturday. We're going to continue in just a minute with the music from Mr. Lucky. Mr. Lucky was a television series that was not nearly as successful as Peter Gunn. But in my personal opinion, it was something that Mancini ever wrote for any. It was the series, the premise of the series, a gambling boat off Catalina Island, I guess. And Mancini wrote a beautiful theme for this show. You'll hear it covered by jazz musicians sometimes, but most of this music is forgotten. But it really shouldn't be. It's really fine, a fine score. And we went to the great trouble to import this music from the Arizona Winds in Glendale, Arizona. So we thank Colonel Rich Shelton, who was the director of that ensemble, for lending us this music. And we'll hear Mr. Lucky, My Friend Adamo, and several other titles from that series that no one remembers. You're going to like the music. So in just a minute, we'll bring you selections from Mr. Lucky.
Hey, LB.
Huh?
I was just talking to people, and I'm live on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Mr. Lucky. There's also an album called Mr. Lucky Goes Latin. There's two of them.
Should be starting up in a minute, half a minute or so, guys. He's probably just going over the program sign to make sure everything's okay. Plus, it gives them guys a chance to catch up on their breath in between. Somebody was smart, Dominic. They have the kid there set up a lemonade stand out here at Carter Park.
There you go.
I don't think the mayor would have a problem with that.
He would?
I don't think he would.
No, I like that.
Here we go. Okay, guys, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Lou Stamus on the alto saxophone solo. Lou Stamus.